I cannot begin before without thanking you for the great opportunity of having you here with us and doing this interview.
Thank you.
My name is Karen Sacal and I am supporting the press office of Maguén David, but I am especially thankful because I am a third-year medical student and I am a great admirer of the work and the hospital that you represent.
Thank you so much.
To begin, I would like to ask you to explain a little bit about the human genome and how it works and how these diseases are transmitted.
So let me relate directly to the Jewish communities because I'm coming from Jerusalem. And what we see there, we see communities that are marrying inside, like many of the Jewish communities in Latin America. And while doing so, they keep the good genes inside the communities, but also the bad genes. So since inside communities, people are related to each other, like a very big extended family. Many of the people that came from the Syrian Jewish community, they are actually the great-great-grandchildren of the same person back in Syria. And they can carry a gene with a defect, like all of us carry. But because they are related, they carry the same genetic defect. And if they marry each other, sometimes they can transmit the same genetic defect to their children. Now, we were alarmed to think that actually the people here start now transmitting the same defect to their children because the community enlarged and extended and they don't know that they are related. They are meeting in the pub or in the synagogue and they don't know that actually they are 6th-degree cousins and that they carry the same genetic defects. And so we started a program where we look into the DNA of two youngsters that either intend to get married or are already married and want to have children, to see if they share the same genetic variant. If they share the same genetic variant, they have to know it before the birth of a child with a disease, because, you know, once a young couple has a child with a disease, it's a tragedy.
Can you describe what the test consists of and its importance of doing it?
So the test is about taking a sample of blood and then sending it to us. It comes to us after 3 days. And we extract the DNA from it and we read the sequence of the DNA. We then check to see for variants. Most of the variants are not important, you know, they are dictating if we are going to be tall, short, smart, beautiful. Nothing that is important for the health. For the vast majority of couples that we are testing, we don't find anything. It's very few of them that we find that they are sharing the same disease-causing variants. But it's worth doing it to prevent the birth of even one sick child. So they have several options and it's according to their wish. Some of them would like to have test tube babies so that they can choose to have only healthy children immediately at the beginning of the pregnancy. Others would like to start pregnancy and then have it tested at week 10 or 11, and others would still say, I want to keep the child, even if it's sick, but I can prepare myself because now I know it's going to be sick. I can prepare myself to raise a sick child. That's also an option. You know, it's not our job to decide.
And I think a lot of people all around the world and more in Mexico admire Adasa Hospital. So can you tell us a little bit of what it's like to work there?
You know, I moved to work there because some 16 years ago, because it's the main hospital in Israel that combines clinical and research. So you get up in the morning, you come to work, and you are not supposed only to do the clinical, but you're supposed also to do the research, which is the basic of the future clinical. And I wanted very much to combine both. And Hadassah allows you to do that. And for the past 10 years, for example, using these genomic technologies, the next generation sequencing, we were able to identify 100 new disease-causing genes, which is a lot. Because, you know, by the time 20 years ago, when the entire human genome project was finished, for about 50% of the genes, they had no idea what they're doing. And when we find a patient with a disease and we are able to connect it to a gene, then actually we annotate the gene and we say, okay, this gene is responsible for the normal development of, say, the kidneys. So it's a way of actually contributing to science, because we discover what's wrong with our patient, not only helping them and their families, but also helping science. And that's something that was possible at Hadassah. And I think our next project for the coming couple of years is to try and finding therapy for these patients. And we're going to start an institute, a research institute for rare disease. And I hope that we can make a change.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I can't think of at the moment, but of course, if something is still remaining unclear, I'm available on Tuesday evening at the presentation.
Muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Los esperamos también el martes a las 8 de la noche en el auditorio del Centro Maguén para una plática acerca de estas pruebas y cualquier otra duda que puedan tener.